How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which was up 3.38% on the Friday. Of course, the market is closed on this Monday, so I want to make sure you're prepared for Tuesday. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details, so let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $2.45, being up 3.38%. On the low, it tested $2.29, and then on the high, testing $2.57. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.888 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 23.004 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 43.99. Looks like it's curling up there as well. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, and we're also below the 21-day EMA and as well as the 50-day. No surprises there. BBIG is in a bear market since it's trading below all of our major moving averages. Of course, with the recent news that came out, it had quite the pullback. But where it closed is where it's shown to be a strong area of support in the past on many different occasions, as you can see on our chart here. So what I want to see going into tomorrow, we ended up seeing a high at $2.57. So I want us to actually break above this level and make a move at least to around the 21-day EMA, which is at $2.70. Because if we could reclaim $2.70, BBIG returns back to being strong again. And it also has a gap that needs to be filled by getting to this level as well. So again, very significant. Add that to your homework. As far as support is concerned, since we tested at $2.29, and if we take a look at the previous day, it's holding up around those levels as well. So could we say that BBIG has found the floor right around 230? That may possibly be the case. But if we have some weakness inside of these markets and it breaks through this level, then the next area of support that we want to see holding up is right here around $2.20. So you want to really make sure that BBIG could hold around this level if it shows some weakness. Because if it does break through this level, then we could possibly have a pullback to where we could start testing right at the $2 level. So that's one thing you're going to want to keep an eye on as well. But for the most part, if you're looking for some strength, you want to see that move to the upside to fill in that gap. We have some consolidation, and then after we have that strong move up to go back into the $3. So now let's move on to the short interest information. Let's take a look at the recent short interest for BBIG. So for the off-exchange short volume ratios at 27.60%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 3.54 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 45,000, updated 14 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 93.53%. And then the max on the day was 97.29%. So we are now below 100% now. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 26th, it was at 26.07. And then for the close of the 27th, being at 26.60. So it did go up a bit. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 14.20%, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow, it is at 10.61 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 10.30 million. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0.22 million, on the medium it was 7.52 million, and then on the small it was 2.87 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 0.62 million, on the medium it was 6.88 million, and then on the small it was 2.80 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for May the 27th, which was a Friday, we had an outflow of 0.4 million. Analyzing numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, you can see we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then taking a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 10.39%. So of course this is up there, but we know BBIG is a volatile stock. And with the recent news that came out and the pullback, we have to know that there's going to be volatility, but we have to know how to trade it. And I'll talk about it further in the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG when it comes to the price action, so we ended up seeing a high on Friday at $2.57. And this is actually a very important level, and the main reason behind it, we have the 21-day EMA, which is at $2.70, and we also have a gap that needs to be filled to the upside at $2.77. So if we get that break above 257, what do you think I'm expecting? I'm expecting for us to get to that 21-day EMA at 270 and then make that move to fill in the gap at 277. As far as for the low that we tested on the Friday, it was around $2.29. So here's the question: will we be able to hold support for BBIG at 230? If it doesn't decide to do that, the next support levels you want to look out for is around 220, and then there's $2. I know many people have been leaving comments saying, hey, I don't mind loading up on BBIG when it's trading in the low twos, but do know that is definitely not a bad entry whatsoever, because when this stock does decide to pick back up, you will be seeing some green. So that's one thing you want to be aware of, and that's why I say you want to make sure your entries are solid. You don't need to be buying in at the highs. So do your homework, take those notes, watch the technicals. Of course, it's not financial advice, but you should be able to devise a strategy from there. But again, I want to see BBIG closing in that gap at 277 for this week. That would be the best case scenario. Also, we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. BBIG does continue to have short squeeze potential, but we do see that there has been a big time reduction in the short borrow fee. Remember, we've seen it at 300%, we've seen it go down into the 100% range, and now it's in the 90% range. So I'm going to be very curious if we continue to see a decline. But we also have to understand, and I was mentioning this in my previous videos as well, it would be smart for shorts to start covering their positions while the stock is trading at the current price of where it is. So what I'm thinking, since the short borrow fee has gone down, we have had some shorts who have been covering. But again, since a play does have short squeeze potential, it still shows us there's many shorts who are vested in it as well. So that's all I pretty much have for you guys today. So let's see how BBIG performs for this coming week. And like I was saying, let's see if we can fill that gap to the upside at $2.77. We'll be talking real soon.